What is up, folks? Kevin Iole here. It has been quite the season so far at Dana White's Contender Series here in Las Vegas over at Apex. Week one was wild. There was some crazy knockouts week one, and it started off with a bang in week two. And joining me right now is the man who won that first fight on week two of the Contender Series, new UFC bantamweight. I guess that's the way I got to say it right now. Cody Haddon. Cody, how are you? Welcome.
Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. Super excited to be here.
I appreciate you, brother. So, I don't know. Loner Kavanaugh in week one really started off with a bang with that knockout that he put on. I'm not sure how people are reacting to yours versus his, but your performance, you had to be pleased with that victory over Billy Brand, rear naked choke. That was an unbelievable finish.
Yeah, I mean, I actually seen that KO by Loner Kavanaugh, and I thought, far out, this kid's really good. That was spectacular, Yeah, I wish I would have put Billy unconscious instead of choking him out, because I feel like then maybe there could have been like a similar sort of win, like as in compared to him. It's like the people would be arguing which one was better, but I think his one was better, man. He was pretty much like a one punch, like stiff KO walk off. So that's so cold. I would love to be able to do that, but. Nevertheless, I got the win in the end. And, path of least resistance always. I have the jiu-jitsu, I have the kickboxing, boxing, wrestling. So, whatever way I can get the job done, I'm always looking to do that. I feel like sometimes if you mess around too long, that person recovers, and then, then they come out in the second round, catch you maybe. So, you just don't mess around, get the job done and move on, don't leave it in the judge's hands. So, yeah.
And you did that, no doubt. I want to ask you this, since you've experienced the Contender Series now, to me, like, you have to go for it in the Contender Series. You heard Dana criticizing Torres Finney the other day, who won his fight, but he criticized the way he approached the fight, right? And he's been that way. So when you get on there, you almost have to take more risks than you would in a normal fight, don't you? And you have to fight a little bit differently. How did you approach that? Did you change your fighting style at all?
Honestly, I didn't change my fighting style at all. My coach were having this conversation, because I was worried for that, So my coach said to me, hey, don't be worried. Like, don't change your fighting style. Don't try and be exciting. Don't try and be entertaining. And he just said, every single one of your fights are entertaining. You just be you, and you will be entertaining. And I'm not sure if any of you guys have watch my previous fights, but hey, you go and watch my previous fights. I take risks from the start. I'm not there to mess around. I'm there to get the job done. I said in the press conference after, the minute I'm boring, cut me. That's fine. If I have a boring fight, cut me. I'm happy with that. But I'll guarantee you I will never be in a boring fight, and that's because of my mentality. When I go in there, it's kill or be killed always. And if I'm trying to kill and I get killed, so be it. But I don't want to be that guy, trying to coast and move around and win on points and this and that. Like, obviously I use a bit of IQ. I don't fight recklessly with my hands down, but I'm always looking to finish. I don't want to win any other way than a finish. And I've always been like that. So my coach just told me, hey, just do you and Dana will love you. Do you and he'll love you. And I'm pretty sure he will.
I think he was right about that one. But I want to throw this at you, though. I've covered combat sports for many, many years, boxing, MMA, kickboxing, whatever. And, I heard for many years the trainers and the wise people in the sport would say, win today, look good tomorrow. And now all of a sudden the MMA attitude is almost win and look good, right? Not just win, but win and look good. Do you think that is a result specifically of Dana and, and going back to when he bought the UFC? Fight of the night and knockout of the night and all that stuff that they implemented? I mean, did that set a tone for the way the sport kind of evolved?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. But to be honest, man, if you're good at what you do, you're gonna look good regardless. You know what I mean? Like, if you really sharpen your tools and you're dedicated to your craft, you become like master craftsman, and everyone. Everyone should want to watch, a master craftsman. If they're doing something, everyone's going to want to watch. Anyone who's an expert in their field, you're gonna want to watch, So yeah, I mean, the bonuses things backfires sometimes, but like I don't think fighters should need bonuses to like go out there and win and look good. I feel like you should be good enough and entertaining enough that you do look good. And I've always been able to rise to the occasion since the very start. I've never suffered with the whole like freeze in there. I've never been so overwhelmed that I can't perform. It's nearly like the more nervous and scared I get, the better I perform. I always pull it out, and I've always had that ability to just show up on the day. And man, I'm telling you now, any fight I'm in, whether I win or lose, it's going to be an exciting fight. Even if my opponent's moving around and trying to, avoid a firefight or whatever, I'll stalk them down and make sure it doesn't matter what style they have. I won't freeze up in there. I'll let it all go. So I've always been like that. I've never had that issue with that. So, whether there's a bonus or not, either way, I'm gonna go out there and fight the same. I just do me, and I'm exciting. And I think Dana likes that. Fighters who are exciting. But my style in general is just I don't have to try and be exciting. I just happen to be. And I'm fortunate enough. I'm grateful that I fight like that.
I think the whole premise of the series is, not to necessarily find a UFC champion, although that would be great, but find people who are good enough to compete for a UFC championship. And, that's a different number of people. And not everybody, there are a lot of people who are good enough to win it who maybe never do win it. But now you start at the bottom, right? You get into the UFC and you were at the top on the regional circuit. Now you're back to the bottom. So how does that change your mindset, knowing that you've proved yourself to a large degree, 7-1 as an amateur or as a pro, 5-0 as an amateur. Now you have to start all over again, almost like it's like the rest of your work doesn't matter. And now you have to start it over and prove again.
Yeah. I mean, looking from the outside in, that's what it seems like, and that is very true. But I don't see it or feel like that. For me, I've always never cared about anything that's happened in the past. People say to me, oh, you did this with so-and-so. You beat this guy this quick. You did this in your amateur career. That's all irrelevant. That's all happened. It's like it never happened to me. I'm always looking for what's next. So I don't really stay hung up on things that I did in the past because life's so short. We got to move on and get on with it, So for me, I'm just looking at the next fight. That's it, one step at a time. I'm not thinking about, oh, maybe I'll fight this guy, and then if I fight that guy, I might get this spot position, and then maybe I can fight for the belt and this. No, I don't care about none of that. For me, it's just whoever they throw at me, get through that person. Okay, next. I'm not even seeing myself as like bottom of the rankings, this and that, even though that's the reality. I am the bottom of the rankings. I don't really care. I'm happy to be here, and whoever they chuck in front of me, that's what's next. And then after I beat that person, and then they, if they don't move me up the ranks or whatever, I'm not going to be upset. I'm just like, I'm here having a good time. This is better. I said it to Laura Sanko. This is better than winning the lottery for me. It's like, I'm just happy to be here. Whoever they put in front of me, I'll take them out. And I just keep taking it one fight at a time. I don't even feel a difference between like being the top of the regional scene or the bottom of this. Like, if anything, this is way better being the bottom of the UFC or being like the top of like the regional scene.
Right.
The bottom of the UFC is better than being the top of the regional scene. Who cares about the regional scene now? You know what I mean? Now it's like, yeah, I was like, I've won the lotto, if not better. So yeah, no, I'm just excited. Whoever they put in front of me, I just look to get the job done. That's it. Yeah, one fight at a time.
Well, we're going to wrap this up. I would recommend people to search the internet for your fight with Steve Erceg in 2021. Steve Erceg has made a big impression in the UFC very quickly, and you had a great fight with him. Didn't you say the other day that was fight of the year in Australia?
Yeah. So Australian MMA Fight of the Year. Yep, that fight there. And you can go watch that on UFC Fight Pass. It's still on there. I think it's even on YouTube now. Yeah. It's an unbelievable fight. It's honestly, you won't see a more high-paced technical battle on a regional scene, you know, and even losing that fight, that's done more for me than even some of my wins. So, you know, I feel like that's a good backing that I have, even that loss there. And I would actually like Dana and those people to maybe watch that fight too. Just even now, just for their own entertainment. Hey, not for anything else. It's just like, just be entertained and go watch that fight. And you know, because when you read it on a piece of paper, you go, oh, I lost to Steve Erceg by decision. Oh yeah, but you don't even know the extent or how good the fight was or how close it was. All they see is the L. You know, it's like, oh yeah, he lost. But really, go back and watch it and you'll be impressed, you know, obviously.
I'm going to text him that. I'm going to go to UFC Fight Pass, get the fight, and I'm going to text it to him after we get off, and we'll see what he says.
Yeah, please have him watch it. And then hopefully he's thinking, man, I should have signed this kid a long time ago. And I could say, what took you so long?
Well, we're going to have a lot of fun watching this young man, Cody Haddon. Cody, what did they tell you? When are you going to make your official UFC debut?
They asked me when I want to fight, if I want to fight before the end of the year or I want to fight next year. And I just said, hey, in November, you know, give me 8 weeks and I'll be ready to go again. You know, I had a few problems going into this fight, that, you know, a few little injuries going in here, and I'm not allowed to like disclose anything, but pretty much they might need to, you know, heal up. I didn't get any more injured in the fight, nothing like that. But yeah, November would be a good time. Hopefully mid-November they can give me a fight. That way when I get back to Perth, I'd have about, you know, 8 weeks or so, you know, or 8 or 9 weeks to really have a good camp, you know, fight in November. And then hopefully I think the UFC might be coming back to Australia sometime early next year, February or March, something like that. So I would like to get on that as well. If I can get 2 fights in November and then another 3 months time, get on over there, that would be good, you know. So you know, after a hard training camp, like I was booked to fight I think 5 weeks before this fight. So I've been in a hard training camp for about 14 15 weeks, and towards the end it was really taking a toll on my body. So it's actually good to just have a week or so to chill out, let everything heal up, and then get right back in there, you know. So yeah, super excited. So you'll probably see me back in November.
I'm glad you got out of it healthy. But I figure in that fight, the only thing that might have hurt you was your right hand after punching him on the side of the face all those times.
It's all good. It's all good. It'll be the left hand. That was a hook. It's all good.
Amazing stuff. Well, Cody Haddon, we appreciate you, brother. We look forward to watching you in the UFC. Congratulations on your win, and really we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it, mate.